Hey, hello investors and future investors. Welcome back to the channel. For today's video, I'm going to show you how your option expiration affects your option profitability. Now, if you're new to options or you're trying to use options to make a little extra income on the side, then you stumble onto the right video. Welcome to Investment Gains. Let's jump right into it. Welcome back, investors and future investors. My name is Tim, and on this channel, I show you how I use my portfolio in order to make consistent income. For today's video, I'm going to show you how to use your expiration date in order to maximize your profitability. Now, this is not the video you want to listen to. This is the video you actually want to look at. I will be showing you everything in detail in order for you to be able to make a more informed decision when choosing your strike prices and while choosing your expiration dates. Before we get down and dirty with options, I would like to make an announcement. We are going to be reopening our coaching sessions in a group setting. Now, if you want to get buying alerts and you want to join a group of like-minded people, join the community. The link is going to be the first one in the description below. So, following up with my last video, I did mention that Mara trades between $17 and $24, $23. So it's not like I'm a psycho or anything. So I'm going to show you how that's so by doing some basic due diligence. So if you are trading on Robinhood or any of the other brokerage, you simply need to go into your advanced feature. We're going to go out to 1 year. And what I do in order to know the movement of the price of Mara or any other one, I always follow this blue line. Now, this blue line is going to be your MA 200 or your 200-day moving average. Now, as you can see here, the bottom part here is around $16, $17. This is going to be your support right here. If you go to the top, you're going to see $23, $25. That is going to be your resistance. And that is how I know Mara trades between that range. If you were to go out to the 5-year, you're going to see the same thing again. Once again, that blue line is very important. So if we go down right here, you're going to see there's a clear support right here. And this is up from 2022. We're not going to go back further past that. And if you go to the top, you're going to see the resistance, $24, $25. So once again, that's how I know where Mara is trading. So for today's video, we're going to continue using Mara, and I'm going to show you how to choose your expiration date. That's going to give you the best profitability for your own personal preference. So we're going to go ahead to trade Mara options in order to open up the option chain. What is the option chain? The option chain is information that allows us to make an informed decision to choose our strike prices, our expiration date, and the premium we're going to be receiving. So Mara is at a very decent price, and although Mara is down, Mara is a good stock in my opinion. I have been trading it for years, so this is a stock I do not mind having in my portfolio. So the strategy we're going to be focusing on is going to be a cash secured put. So we're going to go to sell and we're going to go to put. Now we're going to start off with the expiration date of January 3rd. Pay close attention. This gives us just 4 days to expiration. Now I'm going to go down and I'm going to choose my strike price. The strike price I will be going with is 16.5. Now, if you guys are a long-time viewer of the channel, you guys know I love to choose a chance of profitability of 80% or higher. However, I just mentioned this earlier. I have been trading Mara for years, and I think the price it's at now is a perfect price in order for me to double down on my investment. So I will be going with the 16.5, and I will be receiving 0.33 or $33. Each option contract is multiplied by 100 shares. So with the expiration date of January 3rd, which is 4 days to expiration, the amount of money you're going to receive is going to be $33. Now I'm going to go ahead and quickly show you some other factors that's going to affect your strike date and also your strike price right here and your profitability. So in order to do that, we're just going to tap into the price, and that's going to open up the secondary options. And what that does is that gives us even more information. So down here, you're going to see what's known as the Greeks. Now, if you guys do not know what the Greeks are, or you guys have never seen this or don't know how it affects your expiration date, your strike prices, and also your premium, just let me know in the comments below. I have no issues making a video for you. But let me just give you a brief explanation of how these work. Okay, so this here is your delta. The delta is going to tell you the movement of your entire option if the share price goes up by $1 or if it goes down by $1. So if you hold in one option and the share price goes up by $1, then your overall option is going to go up by $29. The reason it's going to be $29 is going to be 0.29 multiplied by 100 shares. Good. Your gamma. Your gamma directly affects your delta. The gamma tells you by the amount the delta is going to move. So once again, If the share price goes up by $1, then you're going to have a new delta. But what's going to be your new delta? Your new delta is simply going to be the current delta plus your gamma. Good. Number three. Number three is going to be theta. On this channel, you guys know we sell options in order to make consistent income. So theta is our friend. How does theta work? As expiration draws near, our options become even more safe. And as you know, with these strategies, we keep our option premium. However, as it comes closer to expiration date, depends on what strategy we do, then we're now able to do that strategy once again. So theta is our friend. Theta is time. Vega. Vega has to do with implied volatility. Consider implied volatility as one of your X. It just should not be trusted. Almost everything affects implied volatility. Now, a 1% movement in implied volatility in any direction, up or down, is going to affect your Vega. Now, what's going to happen is if it moves up by 1%, then you're just going to add this point in Vega. Now, Rho is like that kid in the back of the class that just wants to be left alone. Rho is only affected by interest rates. So that's just a brief description of what these do and how it affects your strike prices. They all work hand in hand in order to give you your strike prices and your premium that goes along with your expiration date. Now we're going to go out to the secondary expiration date now, which is going to be January 10th, 25. Now, this one is going to give you 11 days. So in my personal portfolio, the 2-week mark is my sweet spot. The reason I use the 2-week mark is because I find that works for me right now based on the size of my portfolio. Now, when I did have a smaller portfolio, I traded options on a weekly basis in order for me to grow my portfolio quickly. So let's go ahead. We're going to choose the exact same strike date. I'm going to show you how the expiration date is going to affect your premium and your profitability. So once again, we're going to use the 16.5 and now we're going to get paid 0.64. Remember, previously we got paid 0.38. So now our premium is almost double, and that is double based on our expiration date. Now with weekly options, I usually close them 80% or higher based on the profitability. Now with these expiration dates right here, which is about 2 weeks out, I usually close these around 70 to 75% chance of profitability. Now, I always close every single one of my options trade. It's just something I learned the hard way while trading options all these years. So now that you go out with your strike date, you could see that your profitability is going to increase. Now we're going to go one more. Let's go ahead and change the strike date one more, and this is going to bring it all together. So we're going to be going with the 39-day, which is going to be February 7th. In the option world, your best days to expiration is always going to be 45 days out. I did not just make this up. This has been statistically proven years and years over. So that is the best date. Doesn't matter what anyone tell you, this can be proven. 45 days to expiration is perfect. So we are going with February 7th because this is the closest one to 45 days to expiration. Now, once again, we're going to go ahead and choose the exact same strike price, and that's 16.5. Now, with the 16.5, as you can see here, our profitability went up. We will be receiving $169 as opposed to the previous one of $68 and the weekly option of $38. Don't worry, I'm going to tell you why someone would want to choose 45 days as opposed to 2 weeks out, as opposed to 1 week out. And then you're going to be able to make a decision which one is going to work for you. Now, here's the kicker. Although 45 days to expiration is the best you can choose, there is a caveat to it. Most option traders, although they have 45 days to expiration, they usually close out within 21 days of the trade. Now, the reason for that is that, and once again, this has been statistically proven. The reason for that is that that's when they make the majority of their profitability on their options. So the best date is 45 days to expiration. The best time to close it is going to be 21 days to expiration. Once again, this is not something I'm making up. These are factual statements. But I know you're asking yourself the question, if 45 days is the best days to expiration, why do I go ahead and choose 2 weeks out? Well, like I always mention on this channel, always do your own due diligence before investing and choose what works for you. The 2 weeks out always work for me based on what I want to achieve with my portfolio. Now, like I said, now you're going to receive 1.58 and you have a choice. Most of them close about 50% chance of profitability. Once the trade goes to a 50%, these options are usually closed out. The kicker with having such a long day to expiration is that your capital is tied up. The benefit of having such a long expiration date is that most people with big options portfolio usually go further out. Now, let me tell you why they go further out. We're going to go to continue. And now, instead of a single day trader, a single retail trader, these guys have huge portfolio. So they could simply go to 10 contracts and then they're going to be receiving $2,000. Now, $2,000 monthly basis is someone's salary right here. So the bigger your option portfolio, the better it's going to be if you go further out, as opposed to a tiny portfolio. The closer expiration date is also going to work for you. Now, let's tie it all together. So your expiration date affects your option premium, your option prices. The way it affects it is that the further you go out, the more money you're going to make. However, the further you go out, the longer your capital is tied up. If you're trading with a small portfolio, going further out is not going to work for you. If you're trading with a bigger portfolio, then the further expiration date is going to work for you. So we're going to go back to the January 3rd expiration date. Because the fact that you have a small options portfolio, you cannot afford to have all of your capital tied up for 45 days. Whereas you could do weekly option trading and you could build up on this on a weekly or a 2 weeks basis. So remember, in order for you to do your options trading, make sure you understand the difference between the expiration date and how that's going to affect your profitability. You also need to know the size of your portfolio and how much risk you could take. Risk being, can you afford to do weeklies? Can you afford to do bi-weeklies? Or can you afford to go all the way out 45 days to expiration? All of these things are going to be determined on your personal risk tolerance. And also your profitability is going to be determined by the Greeks. Now, most of you guys, hopefully you guys made it to the end of this video. Now, if you guys found any value in this video, go ahead and like the video. Subscribe to the channel. But most importantly, we are trying to help other people get into investing. If there's anyone out there that can benefit from this video, feel free to share it with them. And until the next video, keep pushing your investments.